Okay. Thank you for watching Cherie's weight loss journey. I had to check to make sure that, I needed to go in to work early. Because I forget to check on a daily basis. I mean, I knew it was scheduled, but, it's not as if, they won't change their mind. My watch did come in, okay? Well, what I'm disappointed in is that it makes it seem like in order to connect, you have to pay them $1. And then that is further talked about as if, oh yeah, that's your first month. And then after that, you'll be paying $59. It was just like $60, right? Because they want to put you on the whole program, right? The whole fitness program. And it's just like, no, I just want to have access to the watch, the smartwatch, not the whole program. But we'll see. Hold on. So yeah, been having a crazy dream last night, right? Woke up all sweaty around my neck and shoulders, which is probably about the only thing left out of my warm blankets. Okay? But the weird thing was, at least weird for me, is, okay, I did some lightweight exercises. Now, I don't do my complete set of lightweight exercises when I have to go to work. And I even cut it down even a little further because, I had to put in an extra hour of hard labor. Yes, I had to put in an extra hour of hard labor. Now, I told myself, look, you got PTO. You got a couple hours PTO, if, your energy is low and, the job is, with the shit, right, with the bullshit, then, you can always, take a couple hours. Take a couple hours, go home. You'll still get paid. Because, it's hard being a demon slayer. It's very hard being a demon slayer when there's a lot of motherfucking demons out here, right? And, their quest for power, it comes across as relentless, right? And that's when, you kind of want to just, grab them by the balls, and crack some eggs, right? And it's just like, look, you could say that a person is not fighting fair, but let's keep it real. You have these guys that will sit up here and say, oh, it's no crime to, take your frustrations out while you making love to you. It ain't love, but while you having intercourse, with your mate. It's like, oh, okay, so yeah, you slipped up and you gave yourself away, right? The very tool that was supposed to make you even appealing, right? Your gonads, right? You're going to use it as a weapon and make women be repulsed by that. That's going to be a big mistake. That's going to be your worst mistake. right? To turn around there and weaponize your gonads. When that was probably the only thing that they liked you for, especially when they were young. All right. So I'm gonna tell you, it's in the process. It's in the future. It's in the future that very thing that you had come to love so dearly, others won't like it, and eventually it will become problematic for you. Okay? Okay. Why? Because you brought on this war. You weaponized your gonads. Right? You did it. Right? When people say, hey, don't start none, won't be none. And you double down, you triple down. Okay? And I know you're thinking, oh, no, it ain't no way it can happen. But this is going to happen at the cellular level. It's going to happen at the cellular level. Meaning, all those excuses that you gave us, telling us that you're only behaving like this because you have testosterone. Well, say less. The testosterone gauge is being shut off. Okay? It's gonna get shut off. We're not sure how long we're gonna shut it off. It may be indefinite. Okay? So those advantages that you said that you had over women. Well, I got testosterone, and it's this testosterone that causes me to, to be enraged, to be strong, to be destructive. Well, we're going to alleviate that for you at the molecular level. That way you don't have to worry about that no more. It's going to be slow. You ain't even going to know that it happened. Okay? It's not like they're going to drag you and, and extract your testosterone from your body. It's not going to happen that way. But how it is going to happen is you're not going to develop the testosterone like that no more. And I know you're thinking, oh, well, surely you could take some steroids. But the steroids, what is it going to react to? Okay? And that's just the way it's going to have to be. Right? And those of you, like I said, who, basically, had low testosterone anyway, you're going to suffer too. You're going to suffer too. Right? You're going to walk around here just like a eunuch. Because you may not have done the same thing that the brute did. But you definitely supported, hell. You know, this testosterone drive to the point of misogyny. Yeah. So you're probably you're gonna lose you're gonna lose a lot. You're gonna lose a lot. And what you're gonna lose is, you know, you're gonna walk this earth like a eunuch. You know, just clarifying what I said yesterday. These are the downloads that had came to me yesterday. Okay? And, you know, it was like either that or, you know, the taking out of the firstborn. I know at this time you're like, well, maybe I should have took the firstborn, right? But now you don't have a choice at all. At all. So, yeah, that was sad news. It is what it is. You know, I was very, very disappointed yesterday when I came home and checked my mail. And, this heathenistic, drug addict, narcissistic, Machiavelli, triad, borderline voodoo witch doctor decided to let me know that he used my address as his home address while he proceeded to get a loan. And I'm like, dang, you know, are you cheating those people? Are you cheating those people? Because that's who he's cheating. He may think he's cheating me, but no, he's cheating whatever business or institution that, you know, he has, you know, convinced to use all of these different, you know, addresses and personal information, you know, because these men, you know, they will use your credit, you know, they will use, you know, the opportunity to come into your house and, you know, and record your social security number, you know, record your driver's license number, you know, and then, you know, try to say that, you know, you authorized it, and you know, and they know they, you know, if they had any kind of relationship with you, they probably know your address, they probably know your you know, your basic family members, right? They may not know your mother's, you know, maiden name, but they probably know some other things. But then they could know your mother's maiden name if, say there's a problem and there was a divorce and the woman has taken on the mother's, you know, original maiden name, then boom, you know. So, yeah, that was one of the things that had was talked about, that, you know, that these men who are out here, you know, calling women gold diggers, right? And, you know, women have just gotten into, you know, the competitive job market, right? And men, they've been in it, from day one, right? Because why? You know, there's no reason for them to stay at home because they're not pregnant. They don't get pregnant. Now, believe me, a lot of them are trying to say, oh, I should be allowed, maternal leave just like a woman, right? So here's one of the things that, I was listening to yesterday, right? Where the guy was telling this man and his, co-conspirators, right? While they were saying, oh, they're kings. And so they feel like women are supposed to, provide for them, right? And this man was telling them that no, I mean, it's cool if they just, decide to, want to give it to you, but when you're demanding it, that you're acting very much like a woman. And they argued this, right? So he put up this scenario and he was like, well, all of these things that, you're accusing women of being, which is receivers, right? That's what you're claiming to be, right? You're a receiver. You're a taker, right? And that's what makes you a woman, right? The receptacle. And these guys was like, just saying, no, right? And they were like, oh, it's all about them just getting paid. It's, they just getting paid, right? And they're like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with getting paid and being a receiver that's getting paid. We generally call those type of women hoes. Right? So these guys just refuse to accept the fact that they may have glorified themselves as hoes. Men that want to get paid. And it was funny. It was just really funny that they just kept spinning back the narrative, no, and he kept saying, well, let's reverse the scenario. If there's a woman out here and she's trying to, get paid by other men, wouldn't you not call her a hoe? And they were like, of course, that's what she is, and then he was like, but if you're behaving in the same way as a hoe would, then, you should be considered a hoe too. You're like, no, I'm not a hoe, I'm a pimp, right? And it's just like, it doesn't matter what you call it, you're definitely not a creator, in the way that you think that, a builder. You're not a builder. You're a receiver. And so I thought that was, something that, a lot of people have been, bamboozled to think about. Because, I mean, let's be real. My dad was a pimp. I'm not gonna lie. My dad was a pimp. And, this pimp situation resembled the same thing as a hoe, right? And then most of the you'll see that a lot of the pimps, you know, they're often, their mannerisms, you know, are very feminine. Okay, they over time they start having, you know, like feminine mannerisms, and then, you know, their unusual relationships with other men, you know, and it's almost like, you know, you want to ask them, you know, are you bisexual or gay or what is this? You know, you can't really tell somebody, you can't really, you know, when they're presenting themselves with women surrounding them, right? You think that, oh, this is a heterosexual, right? But then when they're around other men, you know, it's like the dynamic changes, and, you know, you kind of wondering, you know, what is this? You know, they're relating at a level that is too intimate to deny. Okay? So you're watching the dynamic of this intimacy between men, and it's like, wow, okay. Whew. Most people, we don't even want to explore how far that goes. Right? Because it could get into some D&B, and dominate in bondage, right? Some S&M, some sadistic and masochistic type of relationships, and the majority of us, we just don't want to go there, right? It's like, ugh, right? Nasty, wicked stuff. So, you know, and the various diseases that have, you know, resulted, you know, in these, you know, homosexual relationships is proof that it's nasty and wicked. Okay? Nasty and wicked. Right? The gonorrhea, the syphilis, the HPV, the HIV, the AIDS, you know, most of these diseases, you know, have occurred because men have been reckless with their genitalia. Okay? And a lot of them will say, oh, no, this came from women. And it's like, well, fuck. You're reckless with women. Right? Women don't insert their body inside of another woman. It just doesn't happen. I mean, how dense are you? Okay? So, no worries. You know, you'll get a time out to think about it. So, anyway, I ended up waking up this morning, doing some light exercises, was definitely, concentrating on making and preparing what I was going to eat today. I made me a small salad, doctored up. I also made some eggs and sausage, doctored up. And then I still have my beans. So here's the thing though. Here's the thing that kind of tripped me out was, at some point, I guess it was because I had got my first child, but it was like I had got into the habit of preparing for more than one, right? Because when I was cooking, this was the thoughts that was crossing my mind. It was, wow, I don't really put this kind of effort in where I will wake up in the morning and fix myself breakfast and lunch, like this. Now, I would do it for my family for sure, but, I don't do it for myself that often, to feel like a fresh, hot meal. A lot of times it's usually prepared the day before, as a result of something that you're eating that day before, and then, you save the leftovers and take it to lunch. I was thinking about that hard today, and I was like, well, dang, I think we leveled up to a new kind of love for ourselves, right? Where we could get up in the morning and actually prepare something to eat for ourselves. And it does not matter that it's a small quantity. Actually, that should be kind of good. However, it is, meaning that you're still going to have to do the dishes and stuff, but, the salad and the eggs and sausage that I made, they went into 1-cup containers, right? And I was like, wow, this is so cute, right? Not used to ever that being enough, but typically it should be enough, especially if, I go back to, proper serving portions, right? Because a proper serving portion, it's about a cup, right? A cup is about 100 grams. So yeah. So that was one of the things that, made me think, yeah, are you kind of getting a little bit off track, in regards to your portion sizes? And I had to tell myself that, yeah, I am getting off track when it comes to my portion sizes. And, I was like, well, shit, it wasn't done on purpose, right? It was done because, I felt a little hungry. So, yeah. I was trying to avoid some of these bumps in this parking lot. Speed bumps. And I avoided a couple. So yeah. Them flowers survived. They survived. And they look really good. And I can't figure out how this flower survived outside. And my lime tree was suffering from the cold. I'm like, what the hell? So I had to find a heater just for the lime tree. It looks like it's doing better now, right? It does. It looks like it's doing better. Because the lime tree, shouldn't really be in temperatures under 40 degrees. So yeah. Oh, got here a lot earlier than I had thought I would get here. Okay. No problem. At least that gives me a few more minutes to sit here and chit chat with y'all. So I am not really sure water. I don't want to park in a pool of water. So yesterday. Yes? Yes. So, yeah, the Machiavelli triad borderline voodoo witch doctor, for whatever reason, even though it's been almost 20 years, right, has the audacity to still use my address. Isn't that a lot of audacity? Because that's, the first time recently, was what, 4 months, 5 months ago, there was a mail that had came to my house that said that this person now has a warrant on them, right? So I was like, oh shit, this guy stay in trouble. Nothing new for him, right? And so obviously it was from a bail bond company. And I was like, wow, these bail bond people, they gonna get the person because they ain't gonna want to give up the money. Because some of these bail bonds, they're huge. And so when you get out on bail, you're kind of like released, with like a supervisory, custody of the bail bondsman people. And if you don't do what they tell you to do, they're thinking that you're gonna cost them a lot of money. And I watched a couple of bail bondmen's videos right before I had got that letter in the mail. And I was like, why is this man using my address? I have not seen him or talked with him in over 20 years, just about, right? Since about 2004, 14, right? 16 was probably like the last time I even had set sight on him, was when, he was like, flirting with the women at the job and stuff. And I was like, ooh, they don't know what they're getting into, but ooh. That's their choice. That's their choice. We all put here for a reason. We all have our own lessons and our own cross to bear. That's for sure. What I don't understand is the last words that me and him had was very aggressive, right? And if the police hadn't have been there, it probably would have turned into some type of weird violence. But the police were called and they were there, and all he could do was express himself with rage. I mean, it was just, it was a type of anger that, first of all, was not warranted, right? Because, we had stopped having sex several years before he even disconnected having contact with me. Right? It was like he always had this belief, oh, she gonna give in, she gonna give in, you know. And I was like, you know, and he tried to get his godparents to ask, can you ask her why she, you know, she just stopped having sex? And I wouldn't talk to them about it either. I was like, look, no means no. I don't have to justify myself why I don't want to have sex with someone. Not even to that person. My body is my body. Okay? Because it just appears to me that if you have to justify yourself to someone, that they're just looking for ways to convince you to let down your boundaries, ways to manipulate your reasoning, your thought processes. And it's just like, no, there's nothing to talk about. It's my body and I'm not having sex with you no more. And he knew that even before he actually had moved out, you know, when it was like, no, you can stay upstairs into, you know, in one of the rooms upstairs, you know, until you can find your own place. You know, but this guy went diabolical. He was like, no, this is my place. I'm like, no, it's not. You know, get a place of your own. Be a man. At least be what you call a man, right? Get your own place. Don't be a cuckoo bird and try to take other people's nest, dumbass. But, you know, like I said, these men out here who are confused about what, you know, their role is and their purpose is, and they have none, you know, they're just wandering in the wilderness. But that's their choice, right? And they're always looking for somebody to save them. And the reason why they're looking for somebody to save them, because they want to blame somebody for failing to save them, right? Because once they hook someone that is going to try to save them, the battle is on for them. It's like, yes, I got one. You know, and, you know, people will, you know, try so hard, you know, to save somebody that, you know, doesn't want to be saved. Even though they say, save me, throw me a life preserver, I need help, you know, but they don't help themselves. Right? And that's where a lot of people, you know, get taken advantage of. By people asking for help, and they really don't want they don't want genuine help. They don't want help to actually become healed. A lot of them just want help to keep doing what they've been doing. And that's going to put you in a terrible, vicious cycle. Right? And this vicious cycle is going to lead to, you know, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, and financial abuse. Because the thrills and stuff that these people pay for, they really should be using that money to actually go and get, you know, psychological help and reprogramming. Right? But that's not something they're interested in doing. Even if they was to try it, they would go in with the notion that they're only doing that to appease probably somebody that said, I'm not going to help you unless you go to rehab. I'm not going to help you unless you go to therapy. I'm not going to help you unless you go see a psychiatrist. And these are the people that will go in with the intent on trying to gaslight everybody, right? And so this will cause a long, drawn out process, right? Now, some therapists, some psychologists, and some other, rehab institutions, they may be, like, look, either you follow the program or we're going to kick you out of the program. You have to go and find your own help. Whereas others, programs like AA, NA, some therapists, they're like, oh, you want to draw this out to be 30 years of therapy? All they see is dollar signs. They're like, okay, we could take this nice and slow if you want to. No problem, right? As long as you pay my copay and you got good medical, So they don't really care, if it takes, 20, 30 years of therapy for someone unwilling to heal. Would you? If you're a doctor or a therapist and somebody came in there and was like, unwilling to really, accept the program, but was willing to take 20 years. Just to go through reprogramming that should have only taken, 3 months. That's how long it could take if that's your goal, if that's what you want to do, right? Even losing weight, right? We used to think, in order to lose weight, it's going to take a long time, right? But now they're starting to see, with clear intentions, you can lose weight a lot faster than that 1 pound a week. Right? With clear intentions, you could lose, 30 pounds, 40 pounds in 3 months. With clear intentions. Okay? So that same reasoning applies when it comes to therapy and reprogramming. Now, if you don't have the brain cells or the mental capacity, then no, you're probably not going to be able to, get reprogramming and adopt that program and have it up and running in 3 months. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to functioning people that choose to fuck up. Because for whatever reason, they think it's appealing to be a fuck up. right? It's appealing, and then they get with other people that make it seem like it's actually fun, right? And that type of sadistic behavior is gonna change your brain chemistry. And you will have to go very hard and over a prolonged period of time to revert your brain chemistry back to normal. And it will definitely have to be intense and intentional. You're not going to just magically fall into it, right? Those people who are like, well, let's just fake it until we make it. Well, that faking is not intentional. How can you say that faking is intentional? That's a contradiction of words. Faking and intentional. Okay. Had my protein shake mixed with fiber and collagen. I had my A, B, C, and D vitamins. I'm just about ready to go in. I've been recording for almost an hour now. So I'm going to shut it down here. And yeah. Just hold on, okay?